So in this video I'm going to talk about dimensions of consciousness, levels of consciousness, and welcome to my channel. This is Maya 7Stars and I'm here to help you get to your highest timeline. And so far, hopefully you already understand, or you will get to understand, depends when you are watching this video, that universe is literally inside of you, and which dimension you operate on, it's actually now in charge of you. We are chemical beings, and chemicals are part of, the emotions are chemicals, so we are chemical beings, and each state, each level that we operate on is actually also very tied to the cocktail, that we produce as a human beings, which is why I say every single human is a junkie, because we have this signature chemical cocktail that we produce, whether you like it or not. You're always having some cocktail, and is that cocktail gonna be anger or fear, or is that cocktail gonna be love and peace? It's totally up to you. And now this is truth more than ever, because as I explained in my ascension video, why this is so important, and that we are now on this ascension journey where all the matrices, all the programs that actually kept you suppressed and depressed and dwelling in those lower cocktails are now being dismantled. So now it's really up to you to do your best that you can in order to climb in the dimensions of consciousness. And each dimension, how I'm going to explain in this video, each dimension is actually connected to your state of being, is connected to this chemical cocktail that you operate on. So I have a video on my channel here, your signature chemical cocktail, as I call it. You will want to watch that, because you are a junkie, whether you know or not. We are chemical beings, because we have this beautiful bodies, right? We always have some, we always produce some cocktails. So it's up to us, to identify what that base cocktail for us is, because this is tied into the dimension that you operate on. And you're gonna see how each state has its own level, and the top level being the faith, which I'm going to discuss now, and that also ties into my previous video that I've done on you and your ancestors and power of ancestors, where I touched upon how that you have to come first to the love state, and then to freedom, and then to peace. Right? Those are all stages that when you start to heal, when you start to do this work on yourself, is where you're going to get naturally, and you have to occupy one place, and then you're going to get to another place, and then to another place, all the way to the faith, which I'm going to explain more into details, right? So this is what this video is all about, right? So I'm going to expand on this, and you will want to subscribe, and you will want to save this video, because it's going to be very relevant for you, and even take notes, because this is how you're going to know which dimension you're actually occupying, right? Because universe is truly inside of you, and you have the control now more than ever, right? And you can climb this ladder, in no time, especially when because there is so much to this that this on the conscious level, right? Because when you know things, then you can expand more, because what this universe is all about, it is about the expansion, right? Everything expands. This is how God expands. So in my previous video about the ancestors, I actually shared how you have to get to the love, then freedom, to the peace, because freedom gives knowledge, and knowledge comes directly from source. It's revealed from inside, and this is when you then arrive fully to live in this truth, because the truth is the base, and this operating program that we are now operating on, I have a video about that as well, truth video, so watch that as well. So I just want to expand first on the these three things. So about the love, you have to, first level where every single human needs to expand is to the love state. And what is love? It's really self-love. It is that you coming back to you building that relationship with yourself, because nothing is ever going to happen for you unless you come back to yourself. This is that first primordial love, self-love, respect for yourself, respect for life, and this is where when you fall in love with yourself, it is when, if you choose so, right, to have your other soulmate coming into your life, which is just gonna be, someone that's gonna come into your life that can love you the way you love yourself. And in this case, right, you're already loving yourself fully, completely, so naturally you're gonna get someone to love you fully and completely, because this is just gonna be a reflection of your love towards yourself, right? Some people will decide not to have that, but you cannot be in abusing relationship, you cannot be half-assed relationship. Like, you own this to yourself, because you come here alone, you're out of here alone, and the first state, nothing is ever going to happen unless you fall in love with yourself, with your life. How you fall in love in yourself? It is by falling in love with your life. You being loving every day of your life, you doing things that you love, because the truth is that you shouldn't be doing anything, and I mean anything, that you don't really want to do, that you really don't love doing. This is, where I'm sitting today, and it is truly, really possible where I've been, everything that I talk, I've been on the other side, and I arrive into this state of consciousness. So it can be done, it should be done, and now more easier than ever, because of this era that we are moving into. And it's really about you asking yourself, are you going to be among the first one or among the last one, but you have positioned yourself to come here at this time to experience this. This is the best part of our journey. We just finished the worst part of our journey right over here. So this first, it's this love and self-love. Like, this is like, people will mistake with selfishness, but no, it's really not selfishness. You have only one responsibility, and that responsibility is only towards yourself. It's not about your mother, father, daughter, whatever. It's primordially for you, for yourself. Like I love to say, it should be you, 10 places empty, then again you, and then whoever comes along, whatever. It's really like that, but in a best loving way. Because if you are not loving towards yourself, if you're not true to yourself, you have nothing to give. You're fooling yourself, like you're doing this for your kids, like you're sacrificing yourself for your kids. This is so wrong, because your kids, they feel something else if you're sacrificing yourself. Like, you are never meant to sacrifice anything, little alone yourself. So it's your job to make yourself happy. It's your job, and then to fall in love with yourself, because when you do, then everything around you is going to fall into the place as by magic, and this is where you're actually going to be able to give something, because you cannot give from the empty bag. Then the next level, you're going to naturally arrive from that place, because you're going to be, right, you are already untying, like, all the things that are actually binding you, this is what actually means this freedom. And you loving yourself, you loving what you do, you doing just what you love, that's already freedom, and that state, you're right. And if you haven't already, you're gonna find your soulmate, which when you do, you will know that you have your true divine soulmate, is by you even being more free, because you are in this relationship. This is how your relationship actually needs to feel, even more free than you are single. Like, this is the truth. The true relationship, when you are with your divine counterpart that was always meant for you, and it can only come, you know, when you fall in love with yourself and all these things, right? You will know that you are with the right person if you have even more freedom than you would have on your own. So think about it. Think about that, you know. So so this will also, right, include in this freedom. It's about like, you shouldn't be, you know, tying yourself for the job if you don't love that job. Like, it's really about the freedom of speech, freedom of travel, freedom of doing what you love, when you love, how you love it, you know. Like, I'm not getting up on the alarm clock for last 10, 12 years. I'm not in a workforce for the 12 years, you know. Like, you know, it's really, once you have this love, it's, you know, where you're naturally going to create everything in your life that's gonna be free, you know, and it's a play. Like, I'm here on my playground every morning. I get up and I'm like, what I'm gonna do, right? Because I'm so free that I don't even allow people to book me up, you know. I cannot be booked. Like, I don't have a schedule, right? Because it's the deep love and respect for myself, because I don't know how I'm gonna feel 5 minutes after this, you know, when I'm gonna feel inspired to do this video, when I'm gonna feel inspired to do other things, right? So I cannot be promising something for the future tense, right, which will mean then binding, and then I have to obey to that, you know, and therefore I cannot be free, and I want to be totally free as I am now, and, you know, so that I can express myself, that I can always do moment to moment exactly what I want, when I want it. And so every action is enjoyable. So there is a video on my channel as well, impulses, like, you know, watch that video about the impulses. So I have an impulse, you have an impulse, you do something, you feel inspired to do something, you go and do that thing as long as you don't want to do this thing any longer. This is, you know, what actually means to be free. You know, and all these things are going to be tying now with this highest level of creation. So bear with me. So this is actually freedom, what actually means freedom. And then, because you're already balanced out, right, with your love, with your freedom, this is then naturally when you're going to enter into the dimension called peace. It's just gonna, like, your chemical, your signature chemical cocktail is just gonna balance even more, you know. So watch that video, signature chemical cocktail, on my channel. So when you arrive into the peace, like I explained, you know, because you don't want to be polarized, not negative, not positive. You know, of course, we are chemical beings. You're gonna swing left and right, but, you know, the pendulum is not gonna go like this, you know, but it's gonna go like bang, 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 and it's gonna, you know, station, balance out. This is, you know, how you're gonna feel really, you know, arriving in this peace state. That happened to me in 2020. I actually felt when I arrived to this, and I was amazed, you know, what actually means to live in peace, you know. And of course, I put this to be as my priority, right? Because it's our job, it's our duty, right, to cut off anything that, you know, some intruder or someone, you know, that's gonna bring in a chaos or whatever, you know, that's already too big a price for me to pay, and I'm not willing to do or interact with anything that is going to disrupt my day, right? So I'm in this balance, in constant peace, and it's really where your chemicals are going to balance out. And I even like one example is, you know, for example, if I also get upset, you know, about some things, and but this is not to that degree that like I'm upset and I'm whinging and I'm saying some things, and in the same time I'm like, oh my God, you know, like I'm kind of upset, I'm, you know, verbalizing that, like, you know, and in the same time I'm like, I don't feel this, I'm not able to feel the depth of that emotion that would normally go with that, like that cocktail that we normally go with that upset, so I'm not feeling frustrated, I'm not feeling, disappointed, I'm not feeling any of this, and while still my mind is, going and whinging or, complaining about something, those states, they don't last long, but, they do happen. I'm also human. And, but in the same time, like, like, that only means that what actually is happening, that you are going in states of consciousness, actually, and where you have this scale, of human emotions, this is our primary gift over here, because our primary thing here is to feel all the emotions from all the way down to all the way up. So the very, very bottom would be, grief, shame, guilt, and the top would be really love. And what I'm gonna share now, why faith is actually standing on the top, where no one where you cannot see anywhere, that there is actually a faith. I mean, it's hidden for a reason, right? But this is our top creation. So it's basically, as you are moving this vibrational scale, those emotional scales, like I call it, cocktail stages, right? And here you've been cooking yourself and marinating always in a same, which is again why you attract all the similar things to you. Some people, they're just angry and they're just bitching and complaining, and that's exactly what they attract, and they are bind in that, like they cannot go over. So if you're in a shame, and guilt, progress is actually to be in a anger, right? But then what is after, peace, hope, these things. So you want to make sure that you are actually passing those, right, dimensions of consciousness, because the dimensions of consciousness are actually states of consciousness, and a state of your mind, right, that actually influences the body. It's a higher mind, and the body is like a lower mind, and higher mind has the control and influence over, like it's a god, towards the little child, which is a lower mind. It also, our body has its own consciousness, right, and it's having all these cocktails, that is producing. But mind can calm your body, right? Mind can say peace. When you smile, your body starts produces the happy cocktails, right? And when you're like this, your body starts producing, and you have control over it. And it's all about, I call this state early on, when people start working on themselves, I call this state taming the beast, because it's really mind over matter, and mind is, you have the control. You just have to learn to control your thoughts, so they don't go directions you don't want them to. You really have to be, how when you have a dog, and like that dog is going to be a happy dog if that dog has a pack leader, and you're the pack leader. And if you are full of confidence and you say to the dog, sit, you are covered, like I'm the boss, like, and you are full of confidence, that dog is gonna wiggle his tail, and is gonna be like, yes, that dog is gonna be happy dog, because he has a pack leader. But if you are weak, if the higher mind is weak, that dog, what dogs do, they smell fear. That's exactly how your body is gonna smell. Oh, like, like I smell fear, like you're not confident. And then that dog wants to jump on its owner. He wants to, because he feels unsecure, and that dog wants to become a pack leader, because someone has to be a pack leader. So who is gonna be? You or the dog? Higher mind or the lower mind? It's literally like that. And because you are a god in this body, right, you have control, you have the higher say, right? This is why your higher mind needs to be connected to God, which is, again, I'm leading to this faith, right? Because you are also someone's child, right? You are lower mind from someone else, and you have to look up to your creator, to the source, because, and you have to surrender, which is faith, right? And then you are connected and you are happy dog because you know that you are covered, and also your body is a happy dog because right now you are having this confidence over, you know, like, and the little dog can smell, you know, confidence, and like everything is in control, you know, and everyone is happy, right? Everything that was done so far, it was, you know, for you to be divided, like people going from this manifesting trap, you know, is like, yes, manifestation works, yes, you just have to know how it's done, you know, because you always need to be like a third part, like ask, you know, and surrender, right? But it's really that third part about creation is you surrendering to God, like you having faith. That's this whole journey where no one is actually talking. Like faith is actually dimension, you know, where you have to arrive, because then you surrender and then you open your door, and like all the things that want to come to you, they're gonna come to you when it's the perfect timing. Because don't forget, you know, while you're here praying for some beautiful things to come in, don't forget that your God is actually creating and manifesting all of that, so it all comes together. It's working on all your prayers, on all your wishes that you will ever have in the same time. So this is why the best way that you would know what is, if something is from God and if something is meant for you, it's because it comes in a most beautiful manifestation, most beautiful fairy tale. Like I've got my soulmate, you know, and how God organized impossible into possible. Like even the blind person would see that this is like, oh my God, if I planned this for thousands of years, it would never ever manifested like this. You know, this is when you know that, you know, like it's really, you know, what is meant for you is gonna come your way, and your only job is to be in this balance, you know. And all the things that I'm talking on this channel for you are here for free to start, you know, working yourself out, and really on the most exciting and most rewarding way, because nothing is ever going to change in your life unless you change your inside world, you know, expand your consciousness, you know, get to understand these things, that you are living, breathing universe, right? You are co-creator with your God, you know, and you have the responsibility. That responsibility is always to choose light. It's always to choose God. It's always to choose good chemicals, right? Always to choose. This is why you have this consciousness, like conscious built in you. It's a program that tells you exactly what is right, what is wrong. This is why I have the video about how you make your decisions. So important, right? Watch that video, how to make winning decisions. It's so important because your life ends up as based on the decision that you're actually capable to make. Are they going to be beneficial to you or detrimental to you? It's up to you. And how do you know when it's something good? You know, among other things is when the base things is when something expands you, because expansion means life and contraction means no, and means death, and means, you know, all the other things. Because as I talk in my ascension video, there is a positive system, negative system that was in place. Now that's also changing. But everything that expands you, it's a yes, you know, and it's naturally built in you. So someone argued with me and said, like, well, from knowledge there comes from knowledge there comes the freedom. Well, you know, and what I'm talking about here and in my previous video about the ancestors is I'm talking about this knowledge that comes from the inside, you know. And because in this world right now, where there is a trillions and trillions and trillions of money invested to delude you, to divide you, to all these things, so how can you trust anything? Exactly. You have to find this truth from the inside, you know. This is why people are so now ready for the truth, and why they are resonating with what I'm saying, you know. And this is a great way. For example, also great way for you, I've heard this many in my comments, and it's truth for me as well. Pay attention. Pay attention, because your body is intelligent. And like, I love these little signs. For me, it's whenever something really resonates, when I hear something, read something, or see something, and oh my God, like, and I really resonate with it, my whole right side get chills, and like, even I literally feel half of my brain, my right brain, I feel all, stands up. And that actually means it's a physical confirmation from my body. My intelligent lower mind is telling me yes. And this is the easiest way that you can actually trust, when you get physical sign like that, and and you say, oh my God, trust that. You learn to trust that, and whenever you're watching something fearful, right, and your whole body shrinks, come on, you have to, this is your responsibility to sign off of that, because you are a co-creator, right? What are you going to create? Are you going to be here with me in this new world and doing all these awesome things, and we're going to rebuild the planet, and we're going to do, oh my God, so exciting things, or you're going to, go on self-destruction and dwell in fear? Because it's really like, this war was all about your mind. This is a consciousness. You are a universe, right? It's like, you have to be building your relationship with source, right? This is the only, like, what are you made of? Like, you're made in God's image. Hello, right? So yeah, so because all of this is that, then you can come, then you're gonna living in this truth, but you have to be true to yourself. This is, where that stage I've hit, I don't know, 12 years ago. For sure, I was already living my truth. That this is when then I got my soulmate, and then how it's important for you to. I'm gonna touch upon this to start and figuring out, if you haven't already, what is your passion, what is your mission, because you have come here for a reason. End of story, period, full stop. You haven't come here to be someone else's copy, especially if you're on this channel. Like, there is no mistakes, and so I'm going to be doing a course on how to find your mission, passion, and everything, but really start already thinking about it, and really finding what's your passion, what's your purpose, the basic things, that what are your interests. This is where you should be, and you're gonna figure it out as you go, what that specific thing is for you, right? So just to end up with this watch that video, signature chemical cocktail. So you have to, like, we are chemical beings, you have to be under some cocktail, like, you just have to. And so it's your job, to, because, like, if you are not in a loving relationship, change it. Like, don't think twice, it's done. When you choose you, it is when God can choose you too. Like, it's really like that. Like, you have to come to the love. Like, nothing is going to happen ever. But when you come to love and self-love, and you fall in love with yourself and your love, everything is going to start working out for you. You're just going to go naturally. This is a natural state. And from love, because what is opposite on the fear? Fear, and here is love, right? And I will even say faith. And we're going to go through this in a moment. So you have to pay attention what kind of chemicals you are producing, what kind of status are you actually marinating yourself into. Of course, you go ups and downs, but don't dwell in that cocktail. Do whatever you can, to bring yourself back into this balanced state. Like, I work so much with people, like, the best thing that you can do, like, when you start to go crazy, just leave everything and go for a walk. Like, get the grounding shoes that gonna ground you naturally to the Mother Earth. Naturally, you're gonna, 10 minutes into the walk, you're gonna be feeling refreshed and like recharge. That energy field is gonna, it will actually ground, because you are electromagnetic being, and sometimes you have just a lot of electro, and if you get these grounding shoes, you just walk, and you actually you release that excess electric, same as why you have the ground zero, in your socket, like in electricity in a house. It has to ground, it's simple as that. So think about this, like love, freedom, peace, right? This is where bottom line is this. This program that we are operating on is now truth, and you have to come to that soon as possible. You need to start with love, like you just have to, because without love, without you like, I had in the past, someone that wanted to coach me, wanted to teach me, like, how can you teach me, how can you coach me, and you are living a lie? If you're not in a happy relationship, if you're living half something, like you have nothing, I know that you don't have a base from where to speak, a little alone to myself, right? Because I'm my worst judge, right? I'm my worst, oh my God, right? You own it to yourself, to be true to yourself, and when you start to lead that, like, and doesn't matter what everyone else thinks, right? You just have to honor yourself, choose you, and then God chooses you too, and you're gonna be well off on this path. But this is the first, like, I'm just gonna bring you back and back and back to the love. You have to get to that place, do whatever it takes, choose you, 10 places empty, then again you. It's not a selfish thing. You own it to yourself, like, this is your responsibility. Without that, you're not gonna be moving in any direction. I can promise you that. It's that big. Is that big. Everyone needs to get to self-love. It's the highest frequency, right? Without that, you're not going to move anywhere. You're fooling yourself if you can live with someone that's half-assed. Nah, it's not going to work. You have this, duality to show you, this is not what I want for myself. So, anyways, I'm going to end up with about this. If you heard about the seven deadly sins, I'm going to invite you to really research them, because they are truly your 7 deadly sins, and each one of them, like, just research and really look how true they are. And I'm going to expand a couple of them. So the first level is righteousness. The second level, so this is the level, so these 7 deadly sins, they're really deadly. Take it literally, and you're going to see why. And I'm going to tell you now the levels of, more like into that, where I said level, love, freedom, and peace. But here you have, the stages, and where you have to arrive is to the faith. So the first level is righteousness, right? This is why you have this conscious built inside of you. Already know what you need to do, and if you just follow that, you don't need me, you don't need all this, right? You don't have to, it's good to know all these things, so you can identify yourself. Are you righteous? Are you, like my artist here, like, I'm all about the justice, like, my life was built like that I felt injustice my whole life, because I wanted to arrive to the justice. I wanted to arrive to pure truth, like, that was built inside of me. I remember I was just a small child, and I was saying to everyone, just don't lie to me. That was my requirement. No one could, like, I didn't accept anyone who's gonna lie and cheat and do all these things. And like, the justice was for me the big one. And now I hardly stopped myself not to be part of this old world, when I see so much injustice, because I was patiently waiting and working on myself, because I always knew I'm this brand new, I'm first way in this new earth, and where all the injustice and like, oh my God, like, that's just embedded in me, like, this righteousness, this is how I always was. I will always tell you how it is, like, people like watching my predictions, and they're saying, she's deceiving, she's a liar, I was like, like, man, if you are so far off, if you cannot see this benevolence in me, because what I say, and the things that I do with souls that I'm working with, I always say, like, I'm in business of truth, and that's the truth costed me my whole life. I paid a high price for truth, because all I can and will ever do, I speak truth. Like I expect truth. Like doesn't matter how much it's going to hurt me, I want truth, because only the truth can set you free. Like only the truth is such a high frequency, and I'm so excited about this whole new program, all this software that we are operating now called Truth, because like it's my middle name, you know, and I wouldn't do anything that isn't truth. I wouldn't say anything that I totally don't believe it's 100% truth, you know. This is why you have to find your own truth, and your own truth is gonna evolve. Your own truth is gonna mature. You know, what was yesterday truth for you is not necessarily gonna be today your truth, and that's okay. You are evolving, you know, and like, for example, on one stage you're gonna have certain truth. You're gonna understand, okay, this is my truth, and am I living by those standards? Is this my truth? Yes. Then you get to another set of things, because when you master one level, then you get another piece of the puzzle. Oh, and then that's your truth, and then you are doing that. And then just when you think, oh my God, now I figured out everything. Oh, then you are ready for something else. These levels are never stopping. This is why you can then see why there is a place for everyone. You know, just you being here around me tells you that you are already ready for this. You know, this is your next piece of the puzzle. Then we go together to something else, right? And some people, they will just get to some level where they're gonna realize, oh my God, my thoughts actually matter. How amazing. I'm a creator, you know. And those are the stages, and that's fine as long as you are living your own truth. So, okay, just to run by those the levels where you have to be. What is the new set of dimensions, new set of consciousness, and where you have to be? You have to have all of it, right? You have to have all of it. It's 7 levels, right? My 7 stars. Hi. So righteousness is number 1. Fortitude is number 2. Temperance is number 3. 4. Prudent creation. And I really love this. And this is why I'm going to be creating this course. Because again, the easiest way that you're going to fall in love with yourself is when you fall in love with your life. And how you fall in love with your life is when you fall in love with what you do. Because you should be playing like me every day. I wake up and like, what I'm gonna do now? Oh, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do that, and then 2 hours later, oh, what I'm gonna do now? Oh, let me do this. This is pure freedom. That's my pure expression. Like, I'm recording this video, I'm having a ball, right? That's our right. You should be on your playground all day long, every day. And it's possible. I'm here to tell you it's possible now more than ever, because all the changes, if I could break through all the, all the hidden things and all the matrices and everything, like now everyone else can. Like, I promise you that. So then it's charity, then it comes hope, and then it comes faith. And it's gonna come naturally, to this faith. So all those levels, so you can actually see through all these levels. This is how they the other side, watch my ascension video, the other side, how they made you fall, how you always end up in this vicious cycle of recycling of your soul. Because what you want, the name of this game is you coming back to the source. You coming to the purest form. You coming to the purest form, embodying the purest light, because source is pure light, and the beings that are living with source are pure light, right? Where you go down, it's denser and denser and denser, more matter and less light. It's literally like that. Like, light beings, why they have those, things above their heads, angels, that they are all, right, pure light. And so if you're not, like, righteous, if you don't have temperance, if you're overeating, over drinking, that's all sin. Because your body is your temple, like on so many levels. So just research 7 deadly sins, because take them literally. And there is also, so the 7th level of faith is literally where I am now and where, you know, you have to arrive, you know, after all these levels, because you are never meant to do this alone. You are meant to walk with God, you know, and this is when this faith is that you know that you're gonna be taken care of no matter what. You know, this is like that little dog that I explained to you. You have your pack leader, right? That you just, you know, that you never been taught. You never been taught the right way. You know, you haven't been building this relationship with him, you know, with your creator, with source, with God. You have whatever that is for you. You cannot go wrong with that. Is like the stuff that you are made of, right? You know exactly what is right. You know exactly what is right, you know. And it's about you surrendering and you walking in faith. Like I say, you know, you walking and God is placing the land above, below your feet, and how, like you, like even there is no, like your feet is stepping, and then the land shows up, and you do the next one, you know, and the God creates the land, you know, where you walk. And is that trust that you always go, because you know, this is where the manifestation whole groups of people manifesting things is because again they manage to take the God out of it, and then what are you building? You're building your ego. You're building your you are building this, like again you are, oh, I'm going to manifest it again. You are you know, taking everything on your shoulders, and then even when you manifest that, you say, oh, I manifested, but where is God? Where is the pleasure? Where is the magic of it all? Because I can guarantee you one thing is that when you create with God, you know, there is no stress, there is no tense, there is no like, oh my God, disappointment. Those things doesn't exist, and everything always comes to you with the most, like in a biggest fairy tale. This is how you know, is that person right for you? Did it come with a fairy tale? You know, is that business right for you? Did it come with a fairy tale? Like all the signs that came there and say, hey, look at me, this is what you need to do. This is how you know, like you cannot miss the signs, you know, given that you are actually, you know, getting yourself balanced, that you are healing your things, you know, all the videos on my channel, you know, especially your life review and all these things are designed for you to see, to shine the light on all the things that are, you know, still trauma or whatever, you know, to adopt this higher mind, higher perspective, higher view. Because what I'm teaching with is what is healing, what is healing people, how I heal people is through this beneficial perspective and attitude towards life. Like it's really about that. It's about you having this beneficial perspective, you coming to that point, because then the thing that is bothering you, when you change, that thing doesn't change, but the way you look at that thing actually change. You know, that thing doesn't have anything over you, right? Because so this is why you have to do this work on yourself. This is why I'm doing with people this 40 days container, like with me, where you are energetically supported, where I'm your life review counselor, and we go over everything, you know, in a 40 days. Let's do it. You know, I'm here because I invested in myself thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars, and 20 years of my life, you know. Oh, this is my life work, and I stand by it, because I see this is healing people. You know, this is making difference in people, because all you need to do is this perspective to heal all these things, so you can actually arrive on this amazing, because these dimensions, these consciousness states are actually where you want to be. Heaven is here and right now. You just have been born into the hell, and hell is all that you knew till this point. But doesn't have to be that way, because your perspective, your attitude towards life is gonna decide where you're gonna be from now on. There is only two dimensions when you think about it. It's hell and heaven. Where are you? I'm living in heaven for the last so and so years, you know, where I used to live in hell. Oh my God, big time. right? We all have been born in this hell. This is why I teach, and why I'm so passionate about this, because I said, I'm going to figure it out how this life works, and when I do, I'm going to make sure I'm going to share it with whoever I can. So, share this video who needs to hear it. Go over my videos and watch, and work on yourself. So the another thing, because we are this, I'm gonna finish with this. So the top of our creation is life. It's God, and we are all wired towards life. So what will be the biggest sin of all? Kill? Or is it, of course, kill, but suicide, right? How about that? Because every death is now a suicide, because you're choosing to kill yourself with the chemicals. You're choosing, for example, this is why I say to people that that water is poison, that the food is poison. You have to do everything that you can, to avoid these things, to do the best that you can to avoid these things. You cannot be knowing things and then doing those things anyways. Like, this is where this responsibility comes right? Because, and you can see, right, because like the biggest sin of all is you committing a suicide, you actually killing yourself. I don't know, is it in your country, but in my country, if you kill yourself, no priest will come to your funeral, because it's a biggest sin. And where it's not written, right, it just says no kill, right, in a commandments or whatever, right? But it's really the biggest thing that you can, because then you don't have respect for life, which is where you come from, right? And there's and like you can see, the other side of this, like they're making this legal right here, I heard in Canada, and probably, all around the world, they're actually going to help you kill yourself. So there is a pond that you can go and let's say, I don't want to leave it. Oh, we're going to help you. We're going to help you go there, kill yourself. And then, right, your life doesn't stop there, because you live forever. And what you just do, you just actually murder your soul, and your soul goes to be handled with, to someone that you don't want to go to, So you never die, you live forever, and now you're going to have a chance to really, see this in this physical life, because so many things are changing as well. So this is why this time is so important. This is why, I keep talking about these things. You have to work on yourself. You have to find the truth for yourself, and forget everything that you knew so far. Understand that this is the upside down universe. Everything was pointed against you. It's your job to smell the truth. It's your job to smell the fear, and don't go there. Everyone else is feeding off of you, and don't allow that. Where your focus goes, it's what are you feeding, who are you feeding. You feed yourself, you feed the light, and you switch off, unsubscribe. I keep saying on my channels, unsubscribe from all those channels, and fear porn, and just see, how they, look here, look there, they want your attention for a reason. Don't give them. So, okay, guys, so this is Maya 7 Stars, and I hope that you love this video. Please subscribe. This is how you help this channel and the truth to go out. Watch my video, everything that I mentioned. I'm going to try to link them all, but I don't have so many videos. So, every single video you're going to love, one of which is like your ego, good life, bad life, is a cover photo on that. All of it, they're gonna complete everything that I'm talking to you now, and and I trust and I hope that sooner rather than later you are going to arrive in faith, because this is actually the dimension where you want to be, and where all the magic happens and everything comes to you, which is, I'm going to talk about how the business is done as well in my future videos, because you're not meant to chase, but everything actually comes to you in the right time, in a perfect order. So I love you so much. Leave me the comment and share this with who needs to hear this. Save this video, so you can get over it and write down the, the stages, and write to me where are you at right now, and, and get to that love state as soon as possible. Do whatever you can. Kick and scream, leave whoever you need to leave. Do whatever it takes because that's your job. So I love you so much, and we're going to speak soon.